in between. Okay? Shall we return? What do you think? Yeah? I suppose if you were asleep, Prashanti offers, you could not wonder if you were awake. Good point. See, everybody is so helpful. Absolutely. Prashanti is from Yogaville. Yeah, you live in Charlottesville, don't you? Prashanti, you live in Charlottesville, correct? But then that's the thought, yes, that's the thought. And yes, she lives in Charlottesville, so possibilities.
Yes.
Yeah. So, wonderful. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Yogaville in April also. Yes, Janani will also come with me. You will get to meet her. Okay? All right. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, where did we leave? We left the mind looking for the gun. Yeah. Who is this mind? The hunter. The hunter and collector of spiritual experience trophies. So, therefore it is said, na chintyam. This is not something to collect. This is not one more object in the whole list of pursuits and agenda that you have, this unending agenda of all conquests and all lists, including bucket list. Note, no, Vedanta is never on anyone's bucket list. So, therefore, here the mind, you have to go and snatch the gun or the saber. The saber means the sword, or the dueling, spelled D-U-E-L-L-I-N-G, dueling, sword, or whatever weapon it has. You confiscate the weapon from the mind, you disarm the mind. If it's holding a sword, you go like that and pry its claws open, and then you make it drop the armament. You disarm the mind, and there are many ways to do it. We are going to discuss it, and the Upanishad herself will tell a few ways. But one of the ways is that the mind is very susceptible to flattery. You charm the mind and you disarm the mind. You charm it out of its defensive mechanisms, out of its offensive mechanisms of wanting to hoard this which is not an object, wanting to, that is the first achintyam, and the second, first achintyam, the second achintyam means wanting the tendency to see this as one more experience which is limitless. The limited experiences and the limitless experiences cannot be on a par. You cannot have a limitless experience other than knowing the experiencer who happens to be limitless. So therefore, you slowly go, sneak behind the mind, surprise it, catch the gun, render it defenseless, or you charm it out of existence, make friends with it and make it drop the gun. Whichever method you choose, and sometimes it's not an either or, both have to be deployed simultaneously and hopefully one of them will work. That's what you have to do. So, na chintyam, don't look for one more thing, one more experience. This Brahman, the ultimate Paramam Padam, which is going to be called Brahman soon, it's not one more thing to go after. Oh, but the mind says, I have to go after something. What shall I go after? I have a compulsive, drive to go after. Go after the goer after. The one who goes after, you go after that. How can I do that? Okay, sit down then. Sit down. That's what it is. Because The one that is going after is the one has to go after. Therefore, Chintyameva cha. There is a different way of going after the one who goes after everything. And so that inquiry is not within the purview of your capacities, your tricks, your trade. You do not have any relevance here whatsoever. You just have to disarm, you have to just sit, and you have to be in a servile capacity, help, Because even the smallest help, without the mind, this knowledge cannot take place. Don't tell it that. That's it's like that. The mind suffers from a smallness, and at the same time, to hide that smallness, it's like that. One of those fishes in the sea. It's called a puffing fish, puffer fish. The thing is only 2.5 inches, and then when the predator comes, and it's got spikes also, puffer fish. And then after the predator, it is waiting to exhale. And then after the predator goes back into this, 2-inch little reality that it is. So to the mind, when it is threatened to be disbanded, blown up completely. So therefore, first it has to be disarmed and then pricked with a pin. When it deflates without the capacity to re-inflate, then you say Chintyameva cha. Now we both, the Upanishad says, hand in hand, you and me are going to go after the one who goes after. Oh, I'm also an agent? No, you are my servant. Yeah. You just go fetch things. You fetch the manuscript, you fetch the ahankara, bring it and sit it in the class, you make it learn. You revive it when it loses consciousness because it has been shamed. Wet hanky, you go like this. That is your job. And so the mind, what will it say? All right, I give up. And this is when the mind says, I give up, it is time for a Vedanta party. Bring on things that, what is that goes like that? See, huh?
Noise maker.
Yeah, no, that...
noise makers.
Yeah, those noise makers, they unfurl. And then that things that dropped from the sky, confetti, balloons. We are celebrating what? We are celebrating the death of the mind, which in other Upanishads is called Mano Nashaha. It's not that the mind is destroyed. It's the temporary disarmament of the mind as the agent of the knowledge, and the rearmament of the mind as a mere servant who ushers in the knowledge and is a receptacle of the knowledge, a carrier of the knowledge. Yeah, gopher, that's all it is, yeah. It just carries the knowledge. Before it had authorship, now that authorship has been, the copyright stays with the Upanishad, not with the mind. That's why if anybody, anywhere in India, you ask, nobody is interested in your name. If you are a spiritual teacher, nobody is interested in your name. And everybody has complex names, Svatmavidyananda. Who's going to remember that and who's going to pronounce that, Yeah, you have to give some money for people to pronounce it. And and even then it may come out wrongly. So nobody is interested. Everybody is some Ananda or another, Happy Ananda, sad Ananda, conflicted Ananda, resolved Ananda, is some Ananda or the other. Nobody is interested in your name. And even if you consider yourself extremely senior, or senile, doesn't matter, nobody is in the least bit interested what you are called. The only question that they have is, Aapka Guru Sthan kidhar hai? Where is your lineage? Who do you come from? They are interested in your antecedents, your Guru lineage. And if you say, I got all my knowledge myself, So why are you in orange? Who gave you sannyasa? I gave it to myself. If you say that, then they politely make some chit chat and leave from there, and nobody comes and visits you also in places like Kumbh Mela, which is the orange festival, where where a city, in fact the UNESCO sent people over to find out how a functional city of 2.5 million people gets erected just for 15 days. And it has everything, running water, toilets, proper, all the arrangements are proper, food, trains to carry these masses. And then, tents on the river banks, everything, 5-star tents, big swamis, bada mahatmas. Stature wise, size wise, both, and then bada means big. And then what? And then you have 3-star tents, Janata tents, small teepees, everything is there. Yeah. And Swami without disciples will be living single room teepees, and only one bed is there, otherwise they come with all their disciples. It's a grand orange festival. And then the custom is to visit one another and, just pay one's respect. So the junior people go and visit the seniors. And so once in a while the seniors also, in a nod of acknowledgement, go and visit the juniors. This is how, this is what, from the Kumbh Mela practice, Victorian England got this custom of visiting people like this during the London season. So the season also is from the Kumbh Mela only. It's a season. Okay, it's all just a big orange party. It's wonderful. Instead of balls, we have bhajans. That's all. And so if you say, I have got this knowledge myself, then nobody will come and visit you. And the next time you apply for a permit to set up tent, it will be denied. Very politely they will say, we are full. Oh, next year we are full for next 12 years. That's how they will say. Nobody is interested in the mind as an agent of the knowledge. Anybody who knows anything knows this. So the mind has to bend forward. Yeah. Bend forward completely. And it has to double up as a servant, not as an agent. That is the whole thing. The Upanishad is the agent. Yeah. And what is that? Agent 007. 7th Upanishad I am studying. And what does this agent have? License to kill Ajnanam. That's what it is. Yeah. Ajnanam is what is gone here. And so this has to be understood, is that the mind has to be shaken up so much that it is going like this, and it is just waking up, or it has to be knocked with its own gun that it was snatched. You just knock the mind senseless, you knock out the pramata, and then the pramata is going blink blink, slightly concussed and wondering, like our friend Vikram here, am I awake, am I not? and then, and then the knowledge is easy. Then the person is available for knowledge because the person has stopped trying to figure out what it is. It's not about figuring out, because figuring out is categorical, and it just figuring out, it reproduces duality infinitely. Oh, so I have the infinite? Yes, infinite duality, or at least some kind of infinite I have. Infinite samsara. Same thing, at least a little bit of the infinite I have. You can't have the little bit of the infinite. It is infinitely trying, okay? And so what to do now? The next line gives the way forward after the mind has been stunned. The mind has been tasered, and then it doesn't know what to do, and it has been, it has been incapacitated as an agent of knowledge. So now it is wondering what to do, and then the teaching is given. Pakshapata vinirmuktam. Yeah, for me, I'm saying that for me. Okay, yeah, no, it's already been repeated. So, Pakshapata vinirmuktam. Vinirmuktam, definitely freed of. Pakshapata, falling, pata, fall. Yeah, this is a big fall. This is a very interesting word. Pataha, fall. Falling into one wing or another, paksha. Fall left wing, right wing, winged out, winging it, all these things. Various pakshas. Pakshas means, this, what is that called? Taking sides. And this is something one loves to do. It's the either or thinking that leaves one with, with no Brahman, correct? No Brahman. Because, is Brahman good? Silent. Is Brahman bad? Silent. Because this is what the problem is. Brahman is Ishvara. So then good or bad? Is Ishvara good? And this is the pitfall. That's why it's called Pakshapata. Pitfalls of duality. And we see this in many predominant religions. God is good. All good. God cannot be bad because we worship God. If that which was bad was God, that would be real odd. So therefore, and I can't, because it is a matter of belief. It's not a matter of understanding in these traditions. So if it is a matter of belief, I have to only have everything that is good. But then there is, what is this? There is terrorism. And the name of the Egyptian goddess called Isis has been converted into some kind of a killing machine in the name of this beautiful goddess. And then what? Then there is all kinds of strife, fears, and not to talk about, earthquakes and other adhidaivika calamities, all kinds of issues, all kinds of problems, all kinds of things are there. Yuck, this is terrible. But God is not like that. Yeah, sometimes God punishes. Yeah, but why, that aside, we have to bring in someone called, what? Devil, to explain all the bad things. So here, even on the level of the ultimate reality, which supposedly is God, you have another fellow called devil. The devil or evil, without the D, is called evil. And the evil or devil delimits God, because God is not everything. Everything is not God. Only good is God. And so the bad, you have to bring in another entity called devil. And then you have to be constantly worried about the devil. And to make matters even more complicated, the devil sometimes masquerades as God. Ayyo, how to know whether it is God or devil? Who is talking? It's a very big problem. Very big problem. And so this is a very big pitfall called Pakshapata. You cannot say God is all good. This is not about good or bad. What is good? Good is what I want. My ragas, if they are fulfilled, it is good. And what is good for the terrorist is if everyone else is gone off the face of the earth, that is good. What is good for a loan shark is if that loan shark, not L-O-N-E, L-O-A-N, okay? Yeah, this loan shark is a usurper of everyone's money, and if everyone gullibly hands over their money and gets into that spell, that is very good. Good is relative, and good is not only relative, good is subjective. Bad is also subjective. No, but if all of us agree that terrorism is bad, the terrorists are not agreeing, so how is it all? The terrorist is not agreeing I am a terrorist. In fact, the terrorist views you as a terrorist to be eliminated from the face of the earth because you don't agree with who they are. And so therefore, this good and bad, this is what is the ultimate pitfall, one of the pitfalls. Then what? All these dualities, this is the primary one. Dharma, adharma. God is only dharma. This is another setup. Then what is adharma? What are all the wrong things that are happening? This is all, subjective. This is all the result of subjective thinking. What are all the other things that are happening? If this God is only dharma. Dharma is an order which is a manifestation of God, we say manifestation of Brahman, and then it includes disorder. And in that disorder, adharma is included. Yeah. That is Bhagavan. That which transcends the dualities is Bhagavan. You cannot say that Bhagavan is also reproducing the dualities. Then where do I go, Like yesterday I told you, heaven, I thought at least that's one place where somebody will look at me and understand me. And after jostling through the crowds, I find that the formless one doesn't have eyes to even make eye contact. Yeah, but the formless one is he, and he is sitting somewhere. How? Don't know. Formless occupies space also. That is enough to make me spaced out, So, this is something that has to be assimilated. That this pakshapata is the job of the mind. The mind is only doing pakshapata. Good, bad, yes, no, maybe, maybe not, this, that. It is just putting things into categories. And the mind has been thwacked, into submission. Now it is little dizzy. Yes, all right, what are you trying to say? It finally listens. And then when it is ready for the teaching, after that thwacking of chintyam, achintyam, achintyam, chintyam has been done, it is just spinning now, and then it's finally ready for the knowledge. It's just blinking out of the concussion of chintya and achintya, and then it is told pakshapata vinirmuktam, and it says, oh, that is very difficult. I don't know how to manage that. And then it recognizes, it has some kind of, along with the buddhi, it recognizes itself self-referentially as the mastermind. That's why it's called mind. It's the mastermind of Pakshapata. In fact, it's the author of Pakshapata. Every book of duality has been authored by the mind. In fact, if you said there aren't enough categories in the world, it will happily come up with a few more. No, but we need dyads. Don't worry, dyad, triad, everything. Dipod, tripod, I will do it. It loves to deal with, diametrically opposed opposites. And then say, where do you belong? Where does this Brahman belong? And look all knowing. This is the category I have created. And see, you don't know where to place yourself. This is what it is. So it's not a conquest, it was told. It is not one more object in the world. And neither is this. Let's be careful what we are talking about. Let's remember, Paramam Padam, to be unfolded as Brahman. This Paramam Padam is not within these dual categories of whatever it is. Freed of the categories. Why? That which presides over the categories, which is not opposed to categorization, but which is itself free of all categories, nameless, formless, limitless, is this Paramam Padam, which happens to be you. And the mind blinks. Okay, I think that's a little too much for right now. I was so happy with the gun. I was so happy with those trays. First you took away the trays, and then you put me out unceremoniously. Then you brought me back. And I had low self-esteem, so I decided to come back as a servant, thinking there is some hope. And then even the last little thing I had, which was a secret weapon to just conquer this by this duality, even that you have taken away. And with that weapon of duality, you have thwacked me. Chintyam, achintyam, chintyam, achintyam, chintyam, achintyam, achintyam, chintyam, 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 na chintyam, chad, na chintyam. All these double negative words. I'm just, I have been hit by my own weapon very effectively. And now I have an idea what I have been doing to others. And so I'm just going to sit here and listen. Abba, thank God. So when the mind is finally available for understanding, after being like, you think of a cartoon in the comic, this character is just, completely dragged around until until the person doesn't even remember their own name. And then you say, Brahma sampadhyate tada. Small detail, you just slip it in. Pakshapata vinirmuktam, when you are free of these conflicting dualities that you have set up, good, bad, this, that, dharma, adharma, object, not object, and witness, not witness, witness, witless, all these things, all these categories, when you are still mumbling, fumbling and jumbling these categories, then when those categories no longer have the power to run you and to be the fuel for you to work, then tada, that's a conditional thing. Yada, when the mind is free of all these conflicting categories, tada, at that time, imbhavati brahma sampadyate. Brahman is gained. Sampadyate is gained. Now wait a minute. Two problems. What is gained? Brahman. Hello, up till now we are talking of yada ayati atmano bhavam. We are talking about Atma. Atma means I know myself very well. Sad, bad, mad. That is who I am. We are talking about me, and possibly I am not sad, I am not mad. We are talking about that. But then suddenly this new word, Brahman, has descended, and the word Atma has been replaced by Brahman. This is a no-no in grammatical essay writing, correct? You have to introduce the topic and then you have to explain whatever. How can the Upanishad get away? Because it's not an essay. Yeah. It's an assay. A-S-S-A-Y. Yeah. It's an assay of ways of getting to the truth of yourself. It's not an essay. It doesn't have to follow the keyhole approach. You start like this and you widen and then you come back to, you narrow the thing. It's not interested in all that. This is not prose, this is poetry. And when it replaces a word, it's time to sit up and take notice, and that's why it's replacing the word. Because if it had said Atma, Pakshapata vinirmuktam, Atma sampadyate tada, first of all the meter would have been, compromised. Secondly, the mind would not have gained, would not have been effectively brought out of its complacency. So it's to keep the mind on its toes. You keep replacing the word. And this Upanishad seems to have learnt this tactic from the Taittiriya Upanishad. The Taittiriya Upanishad begins grandly. What does it say? How does it begin? Om Brahmavida apnoti param. The knower of the Brahman gains the ultimate. Tadesha bhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma yo vedanihitam guhayam parame vyoman. So this Brahman, which is the ultimate, is gained by this person. As what? As the truth of oneself, residing in the thicket of the buddhi, which is like a cave, dark, dank with ignorance and wrong identifications. And then what? So shnute sarvan kamaan saha brahmana vipaschideti. Saha ashnute. That person gains, enjoys. Ashnute eats, enjoys. What? Sarvan kaman saha ashnute. Yugapat simultaneously enjoys. Brahmana, not along with Brahman, as Brahman, in the form of Brahman. Being Brahman, there are no limitations to the enjoyment, because everyday enjoyments always are limited, because when the subject is enjoying one object, the other objects are limited from being the source of enjoyment. Here, there is no limitations. It is in fact the self, the subject is revealed as Brahman, which is enjoyment, Swarupa itself. whose nature is just free. Okay, that's good. Then what? Tasmadva etasmad atmana akashas sambhutah. Wait a minute. There was Brahman, and suddenly talking about the cosmology of the universe, from this Atma, the space was created. You see how Brahman has been quietly replaced by the word Atma, and here it is a switcheroo. The word Atma, Atma Bhava, has been replaced by Brahman because the entry point is different. The entry point here is from the standpoint of the Jiva. There, the entry point is Ishvara. That's why here the switch is in the opposite direction. I started with I, and that I resolves where it really belongs, which is the truth of the self, which is called Ishvara, Brahman. And so this is what the Taittiriya Upanishad defines as Brahman. It gives 3 words to define. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Satyam simply means it exists. That's all. Oh, so many things exist. Big deal. You know, mother-in-law also exists. You know, father-in-law exists. Outlaw exists. All the things I don't want also exist. Why should I go after this Brahman? It exists. Satyam. It is you. Jnanam. That's what it means. That's why Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam is a Mahavakya. It unfolds the equation or the identity between the Jiva and Ishvara. Jnanam, you have to bring in the I. There is no Jnanam without I. Because what is the source of this Jnanam? Where does the Jnanam reside? Where does the sentiency reside? You cannot say in the neighbor, in you. You are the sentient one who recognizes itself as existent. That self-recognizing one, that is called Jnanam at the level of the individual. Sat, existent. Sat, I am. Jnanam, I know I am. Because when you say I am, what you're saying is, I know I am. And then what's the last word? Anantam. Anantam means now. I know I am now. How long is now? Is now over now? Or is it over now? Or is it still going on now? What about now? 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 Now. You know, it's earlier to say, the now never comes to an end. Now is, they say now or never, it's wrong. Now is forever. Yeah. Now is forever. Because the length of time called the present, you cannot, put a measuring tape to the present. Supposing you have a big wedding and you hire a cook. Cook comes at 7:30, the wedding is at 10:30 and the lunch is at 1 o'clock. So 7:30, what is the cook doing? What is the cook doing? Cooking. 8:30, what is the cook doing? Cooking. 9:30, what is the cook doing? Cooking. 10:30, cooking. 11:30, you know the answer. 12:30, cooking. Up till 1 o'clock, till the guests have sat down, cooking, present continuous. Cooking. No, but not always cooking. Boiling water is equal to cooking. Cutting vegetables is equal to cooking. Putting the garnish, cilantro on top is equal to cooking. Cooking. And so this one cooking has taken such a long time. Always in the present. The length of time, now there is no length of time for now. That's why when one is in the now, so to speak, it seems to stretch. And that's why there is the saying, time flies when you're having fun. Fun means what? There is that complaining person is not there. That mind has been, the mind has been given a pacifier and put to bed. And then, or it is sucking its thumb, whatever it's doing. And then, it's not complaining because the pleased self is out. And the pleased self is meeting what? An object that is bringing it out even more. Of course the object is finite, but even for that length of time, one says after meeting an old friend, after a reunion, what do you say? I don't even know how time went. Time just stopped. Nobody says that when one is sad, mind you. When one is sad, nobody says that, time has stopped, I didn't even know time going by. In fact, you're aware of every creaking, clicking second, everything. When is this day going to end? It's interminable. Because I am not with my nature. When my nature is now. Sat, I am. Sat, I am. Satyam, Jnanam, I know I am. And then Anantam, I know I am now. Yeah. That now can never be denied. It's like that shopkeepers. One shopkeeper opened a shop, and in India this is a big problem. They bargain, they want, even if they go to a big shop, they like to feel like they have haggled for the price. And they like to say, I live right here, and look, I'm wearing a nice sari, so I come from a good household, so I'll give you the money tomorrow, like this. So he put a board, what did it say? Cash today, credit tomorrow. So whoever went in with the idea of what? Getting credit would look at the board and say, oh, I have to come back tomorrow. And then they came back tomorrow. The tomorrow was what? Today. Tomorrow never comes. There is a saying, tomorrow never comes because tomorrow is always today. Tomorrow is the today of later, really. That's why tomorrow never comes. If you are in the today, tomorrow never comes. In other words, there is no future. Only now, 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 now. So what does Satyam Jnanam Anantam means? I know I am in the now. That's the meaning. Oh, that's kind of nice. Yeah. But when I'm in when I cry about the spilt milk of the past, that is also now, correct? You're not crying then, you're crying now. Because I have the tears to prove it. I can squeeze your own hanky in front of you. It's not a dry hanky that has been shed then. It is a wet hanky from now. No, but what about if I worry about the future? That's also happening when? Now. Now, 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 I am 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 now, I am, now I am. And you can change the accent. I am now, now I am. I now am. Meaning finally. I am now. Am I now? Can keep changing it around, but it does not negate it. The now, 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 now. I now am. This is what Satyam Jnanam Anantam simply means. I now am. But what am I? And we slowly whisper the word Ishvara. Yeah. If I now am is understood, what is the only thing that is I, that is now, and that simply is? Without anything to compete with, without anything else, without anything to shrink it, without anything to overpower it, that which always is in its own way, and that because of which everything else borrows the isness. What is that thing? What is that? It has to be a conscious being. You cannot say it is some, dead tree stump lying over there, sideways. You cannot say that. Because knowledge, if it's all knowledge, because everything, if it is the source of everything, it is all knowledge. Omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Not omnivorous. Okay, yeah, that we have to stop. It's one omni we don't use. Okay. And so this omnipresence includes my presence, correct? Yeah, because I am is included in the amness of this omnipresence, which also can say I am. That's Ishvara declaring its own, itself. So my presence is included in this omnipresence. And my knowledge of myself and my knowledge that I of my own existence is included in this omniscience. And then my desire forever, that now, which is unknown yet, sometimes, in the process of the knowing, Satyam and Jnanam are understood. This Anantam is a big stumbling block. So you can say, if the now is not understood, you convert it as a step for understanding into the desire forever. The forever desire forever. And so that desire forever is expressed as limitless from the standpoint of the total. From the standpoint of the individual, Sat Chit Ananda, I now am limitless. But that is if that is too much, I now am, simple. Now I am now. Now is limitless. And from the standpoint of the total, because we are no longer, when we talk of am and now, we are talking of existence, not of this existent being, because this being is just an expression of a being that is all existence. So therefore, now we are talking of the total, because this being, which I call I, is not just a body-mind-sense complex, along with a few other complexes, thrown into some kind of a vacuum. This being coexists with other beings, plural. But then there seems to be an interesting thing, because in and through all these beings, there seems to be a thread of unity. Can we dare say oneness? All of them breathe. Praniti breathes. All of them, have certain things in common. And if they are human beings, all of them have complexes. All of them are running around in circles. All of them are ignorant. All of them have the desire forever. Wait a minute, there is an order. Could it be that all these beings are just expression of that being which is just beingness, which is called Satyam Jnanam Anantam? You are also Satyam Jnanam Anantam, but that is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, from the standpoint of the total. From the standpoint of the total, we say that this being is the expression of the whole, and I am, I am the whole. I'm not part of the whole because it is impartite. It's a partless whole. I am that whole. I am a manifestation of that whole. That wholeness, I am. And first, to assimilate this, first I say my presence is included in the omnipresence. There is no presence but that omnipresence, and if I say that I am included in it, my existence is included in that. Then we go to Jnanam. My self-awareness is included in all knowledge, all awareness of everything. And then that I am now, that my nature is now, is expressed on the total level as that limitless consciousness, not limited by anything else, not limited by something like itself, not limited within itself, outside itself, not limited size-wise, space-wise, time-wise, not limited at all. So this limitless consciousness with the status and epithet of the one who is in charge of the whole manifest universe, meaning the manifester. Why just manifester? De-manifester also. Yes. Manifester and demanifester is Ishvara. And who am I? The one with a festering wound. I am also a festerer, Why only Ishvara? I have the festering wound of self-ignorance, self-injury, self-flagellation, self-sabotage. This is my lot. This is my lot. So what to do now? So therefore this teaching is very imminent. We have to understand the nature of this Ishvara, and this Ishvara is unfolded as the truth of oneself. Or if we take it this way, how the Upanishad is going, you are, the nature of you is unfolded as nothing but the cause of the universe. That cause is causeless. And that it is an equation. It is not something that is, just dropped out of the sky and you have to believe it. Words have dropped from the sky and it just came into somebody's mind and it is just a matter of belief. Not at all. It's an equation to be unfolded and understood, where each side has to be derived separately. Like if a, fourth grader is told 5 plus 4 is equal to 100 minus 91. Oh my God, what is that? Yes, I believe you, teacher. No, that's not going to work. You have to derive the equation. You have to actually count 5 plus 4 on this side. You don't have to be intimidated by the single digits and the plus sign on one side and the double digits and the minus sign on the other side. You have to go past that intimidation. And we have to derive 5 plus 4, okay, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, the one hand gone, okay. thankfully it's only 4 here. 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, I'm thinking I'm getting 9. 100 minus 91, oh, that's very difficult. 0 minus 1, how to do, No, that's not 0, then that 1 has to be carried over, and actually it's 10 minus 1, oh. And if this becomes 10, that other 0 becomes 9. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, that's how you do the minus, yes. Because it's a seeming 0. It's not really a 0. So 10 minus 1 is what? 9. Oh, but here also 9. And what is there? 9. Oh, so they are one and the same. Yes. Different expressions of the same, thing that is derived. Same. So that 9 here is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That is the derivation. That is the sum here. Yeah. Satyam Jnanam Anantam is the result of operation, this side or that side. The sides look different. This side looks different because it is Pakshapata, it takes sides. So that's why it looks different. And that side looks different because it has no sides at all. Yeah. And not understanding this, they keep this knowledge on the side. And they think I have other pursuits to go for. What to do? Do it side by side. Okay? Yeah. That's all you can do. Enough of sides. Now, so make this a main dish, alright? First do it side by side and then grow towards making it into a main dish. One pot khichdi. Yes. So now what shall we do? This equation, this is the expression of the equation. So the sum that is derived, 5 plus 4 here in the example, and 100 minus 91, both of them is what? 9. But the equation is expressed like this. You can't say 9 is equal to 9. That's not an equation. That's not an equation. An equation has an apparent difference that is hiding an underlying unity, oneness, identity. And so here, 5 plus 4 is our fellow, our quintessential seeker who's been an infinite seeker instead of the seeker of the infinite. And who says, my little house, my little life, my little spouse, my little mouse, pet mouse, and my little everything. And in that little bit of moksha, the person is seeking. Correct? This is the 5 plus 4 fellow. And then 100 minus 91, there, what to take away from that? Oh my God, 100. Purnaha, Purushaha, omniscience, omnipresence, telekinesis, tele this, teleporting, tele that, tele this. This fellow is just saying, what am I? I'm just this small expression, 5 plus 4, is just a little, single digit fellow. And there, this triple digit entity, because of whom I am, I thought I am because. But then, because both are 9, I am revealed. The because has now become the cause. Because is revealed as the cause. Why, this little fellow thought, I am small. The small is revealed as all. And again, what was the third thought of the little fellow? At best I am odd, revealed to be nothing but God. This is what the whole thing is. And so this expression has to be understood. You cannot say, I don't believe it. It's not, who cares whether you believe or not? You cannot say, I don't believe that the earth is round. Just go have a samosa. That's all we can say. Because you don't like round things, have something triangular. That's all you can say. Go eat a samosa, don't bother. Who cares whether you believe or not? No, everybody believes. That is what happened to Ptolemy. Poor Ptolemy was the first one who said, some Greek Mahatma said the earth is round. And everybody else at that time thought the earth was like a chapati, flat. And everybody else was the topping on this chapati. And then, and people were so enraged. They tied him up and burnt him. This is what it is. That doesn't make it right. The majority doesn't make it. Just because everybody is ignorant and everybody is subscribing to the smallness, giving a lot of money to keep the subscription going, buying into the smallness, life after life after life, doesn't make it true, doesn't make it real. So therefore, Kaschid Dhiraha, this is what, the Kathopanishad puts it beautifully. Kathopanishad first has a dialogue with God and says, what you have done, Ishvara, is not right. Paranchikhani vyatrinat swayambhuhu parak pashyati nacha antaratman. This is the lament. O Ishvara, swayambhuhu, O Ishvara, what have you done? The Lord has as though destroyed the species, his own species. The Lord has self-sabotaged these human beings. Why? By keeping the eyes out, ears out, ready for multitasking, ready for distractions, ready for just jumping on something or the other. Parak pashyati, only sees what is out. And then what? Na antaratman, antaratmanam na pashyati, does not look within. This is called society. This is called social security, security of the society. This is called comfort in numbers. At least I'm not the only one ignorant. There are other people even more ignorant. This is what is a very precipitous comfort. Kaschid dhiraha. Avritta chakshuhu, amritatvan icchan. One person it takes. One thinking person. Dhira here means thinking person. Everyone else is going with the, what is easy and what is apparent, swimming downstream. And one person is swimming upstream. And everybody looks and says, ha 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 ha. Look at this foolish fellow. The so-called foolish fellow does not waste the breath to respond to these people, because all the breath is in putting the right effort. Avritta chakshuhu, amritatvam icchan, the one dhira, the one thinking person of right enquiry, not improper enquiry, the correct enquiry, has the courage to go against this grain. And that is what it takes here to understand this truth. Just because everybody says this smallness everyone has, what is wrong? as long as there are therapists, we will survive. That's not the idea. This is not putting a band-aid on a gaping, ageless wound. This is about going to the source of the wound and seeing oneself finally as not wounded at all. The wound was actually a distortion of my own vision. There is no wound, and here I have been buying lotions, potions and salves and keeping on putting on something that was not even a problem. The wound is a projection of my own dejection. The one has to understand this. And that is how the equation is resolved. That is how that, the apparent differences are resolved. You're not trying to wrest the power from Ishvara and become all-knowing, everything. That would make this Vedanta into New Age. This is what New Age is. New Age also says I am God, and therefore I should be able to manifest a few bars of gold. And then, bars of gold don't come, and a New Age person gets depressed. Why? Because they have raised the bar. This is what it is. And you can't manifest. Why? Because, you cannot confuse the realities. It's not that you have to let go of this body in order to understand this teaching. Jivan Mukti means remaining in this iffy body full of complexes. You can still say, I am free. Remaining in a difficult body, and of course a never-mind mind, one still says, I am free. All I am is just free. Why? Because I have disconnected the identification from the body, from the mind, from everything finite, and I have walked over the I. This is where the mind is useful. The mind, before the Ahankara was catching the mind and playing with like a dog toy, but now, while it was shaking it about, Ahankara had become the slave of the mind. Now the mind ushers the Ahankara to take its place where the seat of the I, which is I for Ishvara, the cause of the universe. More we shall see on Tuesday, this particular class. But come after 2 hours for the other class. Today that class will be a short class because some Shivaratri celebrations are there. Do you want to tell our Shivaratri celebrations what is happening? Tomorrow 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock in the morning.
6 to 7 on live stream only, not on this one, because we have to bring the camera into the shrine room, and so to have computer camera, all this will be a little difficult. So tomorrow morning, whichever time it is for you, our morning tomorrow, 6 o'clock is on live stream. Tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock, 5:30. But you can come at 6. 6 o'clock tomorrow evening is on Adobe only. So tomorrow evening, our evening, Adobe. Tomorrow, our morning live stream. Okay? Yeah. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.